Hi everyone, and welcome to our Sweet Pea video kit release. The Sweet Pea collection is absolutely adorable. You can see it from the bright and cheery colors that are there. Obviously there is sweet peas in it, as its namesake says, but there's so much more to it. Whether you were doing something for friendship, for a romantic thing, for something in a garden, something, you're going to see this in the word tags, as Mary Fran's kind of given us a bit of guidance there as to different ideas that this kit can be used for. But you know what? Your creativity is the ultimate goal and the ultimate tool, because you can use this for almost anything, because it is that sort of non-themed or non-specific type kit. So before we move on and see exactly what's inside of this, for those of you that are new, this is our bundled collection. And in our bundled collection, you get all 5 of coordinated products. There are no duplicates in any of the products, and you save 20% by purchasing it as one giant bundle versus buying each item individually. So once you see this, I'm sure you're going to want to have all the parts and pieces in order to create with. So it starts off with a few arrow elements. Again, great elements, right? Like, look at how much with that gingham that's in behind, but look at what the sweet pea just kind of off to the one side of this beautiful little white paper. How much interest is created by just using something like that. Same thing with the butterfly on there. Lots of cool textures and lots of cool patterns in the background papers, as you can see. The damask is just one of them, and in many, many colors. Because we don't know how you're going to be creating, what your color palette idea was, we want to give you lots of options, and there's that beautiful black in there in order to be the contrasting color for you, so you have that beautiful contrast in everything. But again, with the background papers, we want you to have lots of patterns, some more intricate, some a little simpler. There's the lattice one. Oh, like, isn't that beautiful? Just gorgeous that Mary Fran has given you. So gardeny themes, things like that. Anything. Imagine having a graduation photo. Now, probably not many this year, I guess, with the coronavirus out there. But imagine this being an anniversary, that someone is celebrating an anniversary. Isn't this a beautiful background in order to use? Maybe there's a nice oval in the center with their photo. You embellish the exterior of it as well as put on tags. You can kind of see where it's all headed, right? Whether that's a card or a layout or whatever you wanted to make it as. But you do get many, many colors in the same patterns. So that way, whatever creativity, there are so many different ways you can slice this. You have the paper that'll work for you. The stationery paper, how beautiful is that? The stationery papers are a great place to start if you're opening up a kit. You want to look at it and you want to start creating with it, but you're like, wow, there are so many things I could use, but now I'm a little almost overwhelmed, and I have a little bit of analysis paralysis here. Start with a stationery back. Mary Fran has done a lot of work for you by creating this beautiful paper. Now it's easy to flow into either putting a sentiment on here if you're making a card, or if you're making a layout, you can add photos, journaling areas, things like that. You can kind of see where this is, kind of a half done to 3/4 done already for you. A great way, like I said, if you have a little bit of creative block or a little bit of just, wow, where do I start? There's so many things I want to do. That's a great place to start. The Sweet Pea background papers, you're going to see how those get used so easily in the card making idea that I'll show you at the end. Those are definitely a go-to when you're creating with this kit. And lastly is some of the tickings. The tickings are great to pair with in order to give a little bit of simplicity to it. And lastly is the big words background papers with simple pleasures and sweet moments. Beautiful, beautiful papers. And again, you'll see how I use one of these in the card making idea at the end. So into the elements, a bookmark. Isn't that beautiful? Simple, elegant, and pretty, right? I don't know what else more you can say about that. Again, you'll see how I chose to use this actually as an element to add a little bit of interest and things like that in my card making idea at the end. This doesn't have to be exactly what its namesake is as a bookmark. You can do many, many things with it, and I'll give you some ideas as to how that goes. The bouquet jar, the beautiful flowers that are coming out of it, again, gives you lots of ideas. The brads, really elegantly done. That has that metal looking ring around the outside with the colored centers. So again, if you're trying to add a bit of elegance and a bit of color and interest, Again, sorry to be a broken record, but I'll show you how I use them on my card making ID at the end to give you an example again. How would I use these, you know, how would they go kind of thing. We'll give you a little look at the end. The butterflies, many different patterns on them, a few different shapes of them. Again, very elegant, very mature themed. So like I said before, why couldn't this be a bridal shower kit? You know, something simple like that. Well, you know, the creativity that you can have with this kit just goes on and on and on. Lots of buttons, again, adding texture and color to small areas. Great use for those. Circle elements, some that are embellished, some that have words on them. Again, a great element to start with. This is the sweet life. Maybe that speaks to you and you're like, hey, that's kind of the theme that I was going for. Again, great starting element to do it. Same thing with enjoy each moment. A beautiful thing. Maybe a friend of yours, a female friend of yours, is retiring. Why not make them a great retirement card, or showing them in the garden and enjoying some of their time? Now they get to do it every day, all day kind of thing. Frames. Some, again, Mary Fran has given you a frame that is really well embellished. All you have to do is pop your photo into it. Then she's also given you a couple of other ones that are a little bit, you'll see them coming up later on down, that are a little more plain, that gives you the opportunity to personalize it and add in some of the other embellishments from the kit in order to make it exactly what you wanted to see. A great journal card. It's the little things that make a big difference. And isn't that the truth? Again, that simple, understated elegance really shines when you put that into your creations. Journal mats. Mary Fran even gave you the lines, so in case your printing is a little like mine and it kind of ends up at a slant, this makes it nice so that way when you're doing mini albums, you're doing scrapbook layouts, or even for cards, don't forget these could go great as a card insert where you have a proper and pretty place in order to write in your sentiment. Journal tags. Blank journal tags here for you so that way you can put on anything you want. And if you are not sure, you know, I'd really like to be able to put my font on this tag, print it out, and that way when I'm crafting in physical paper, I already have the words on there. There is a video, look under the how-to section on our YouTube channel here, and there is a step-by-step tutorial video exactly how to do that for you. Sweet moments and simple pleasures. Again, a great label. Everything really done for you so that you can move on quickly. Here were the little frames that I was talking about earlier. They were a little bit more plain so that way you can embellish them however you see fit. But again, these are not only for photos, you can use them for main elements or to draw attention and interest in whatever paper craft you're creating. Some great nameplates. Again, look at how much detail has gone into this with the metal brads on the exterior, how Mary Fran has shaped it, that it looks like it's cut out and there's a bit of a shadow box inside. Great elements in order to personalize. Put someone's name in there, an emotion, maybe it's a date, maybe it's a place, whatever it is, use those nameplates in your creations because they sure make a big difference. Here are some phrase strips that had phrases already on them for you, so in case that works exactly, boy does that speed up the process. As well as ribbons, very well patterned, obviously taken from some of the papers in this kit, but it allows you to get a little paper strip and add that to just a small area of your creation, and it gives it that interest that you're looking for. A seed pack, and as you can see with this, right down this side and across the bottom, those are gluing tabs. So when you print this out, it actually does glue together and make a physical paper packet. So size it to whatever size you want. It comes to you fairly large, but maybe you want to use this to put in a gift card or another journaling item so that way maybe you slide the bookmark in here. You've sized the bookmark and you've journaled on it. So anything that you want that is a little gift, or maybe it truly is gardening seeds. You know, you've saved some seeds and you want to pass them along to a special person in your life. There you go, right? Digital stamps, sending sweet thoughts your way. So again, use them exactly as you would a polymer stamp that you stamp on your ink. You can place this over anything, whether that's a background paper, a photo, whatever it is. Place that on top of that item before you print it, and it prints out exactly and looks exactly as if you had stamped that on there. Sentiment labels, again in blank form, but really well adorned. Here's one with the digital stamp actually already placed on it. So now you get the idea of how it would look placed on there. And square elements, again, you'll see how I used one of these in some of our ideas at the end, our layout inspiration and card making inspiration. They give you such, it's almost like its own little mini photo. It gives it such a level of interest that you're certainly going to want to check out those and use those. Some stickers. So these actually have a bit of a white border around them. You can't tell that on this photo viewer here, but just so you know when you see those, right? And then there's the sweet peas. Individual flowers, so that way you can adorn and embellish, whether that's a background paper, a frame, any part of your papers, you can embellish them and make them look exactly the custom way you want it and the way you see it in your mind's eye. Some tickets, that gives you a beautiful phrase up top that you're my sweet pea and gives you some journaling area underneath. And some blank ones, so that way you can personalize them right to your heart's content. Lastly, coming up here is the trellis. Isn't that beautiful? If there is one element in here that is a definite use, that is it. All done for you. Simply go to it and place it in there. Lastly are some word strips with some phrases on them. Again, great items to choose if that is exactly what you were trying to say. And some word tags that are blank. Again, for you to personalize and for you to write in your sentiment. That's everything that's included in the FQB main kit. In the Little Bits Additional Elements pack, again, I've said this to you before for those of you that have watched, these are finished clustered items. There's a lot more finished items in here than there are in the FQB. So that way, again, if you're looking for that one main element that you're like, I need something to be my anchor to start from, here it is. The Little Bits is a great place to turn to in order to find that. Here's a journal card, but why could this also not be a card front? Like, already done for you. How easy is that? You're looking to make a card for your friend? You simply size that to the right size and print it off. Like, you know, very, very simple things to do, right? Great labels to add in interest as well as a sentiment. And then some phrase strips, once again, that will maybe complement what you're trying to say or your theme that you're trying to create in your paper craft. And there are several of them in several different styles and colors, so to make sure that you have something that would work and suit your color palette that you've chosen to work with. The Sweet Pea 2 is an additional background paper pack that you see the same patterns. The damask is there, there's the diamond one, but you do not get this in any of these colors anywhere else. So the 2 paper pack is actually an additional amount of papers to what's included in the FQB. There are no duplicates. So when you're creating multiple things, if you're creating multiple, in a mini album, you're creating multiple pages, same thing with a photo album, things like that. Lots of paper crafts, you want to create multiples. So that way you can, they can coordinate, but they don't duplicate. Lastly in the papers is our solids paper pack. You can see the muted lined pattern in there, kind of the diamond pattern in there. And that is great to add, again, add some interest, add some texture. You can use it as a standalone background paper, but most commonly use it like you do cardstock. Call it digital cardstock. You use it to back elements. You use it to back other, in behind other main background papers, and it gives you that contrast that you were looking for. Lastly is the alpha. So a Sweet Pea alpha. Now what do I do with the alpha? You can do anything you want. Once again, creativity is yours. It's boundless. If you want to put on a date, a name, a phrase, whatever it is that you want to accentuate in your paper craft, whether it's a theme or just a statement or whatever it is, this is why we include an alpha here. Alphas are great for that. And you don't see us using them sometimes in our card making and layout ideas because we want to stick to everything that's just included in the FQB. That way, when people are purchasing, they know that they can create just that there. But these are fabulous to use, and I really encourage you to use them. Lastly, as I've been talking about, and as a broken record, here finally is the card making inspiration. And in it, here is the bookmark. Here's how you use that. Isn't that gorgeous? You don't have to use it as a bookmark. You don't have to journalize it, nothing. Here's how I chose to use the brads in here, because I wanted, as you can tell, it's quite blank down here. I wanted to add a little bit of color, a little bit of visual interest, and that's how I chose to do it. So that's one way of doing it, and as I mentioned earlier, you see some of those beautiful papers and how they pair so well together. The layout inspiration that Mary Fran created, here it is here, and as you can see behind, if you just take a moment here to look, she actually used the stationery back, which is an amazing background paper with lots of interest to it, but she used it as her very back paper. Look at the interest that that creates with the lattice. You can see the peeking out of the flowers and the sweet peas over here, but it focuses you back in on the main area here as obviously the photo and the additional frames. You'll get to see how, look at how she used frames with nothing in them. There's no photo in these frames, there's no main element, no nothing, but look at how great they turned out. What a great idea. Here's how she also chose to use some of the word tags. There is one of those square elements that I was talking about, how pretty they are and how much interest they add. Also embellished with the individual sweet peas and butterflies. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous layout. So that is our bundled sweet pea. Thanks for tuning into the video to see it all. And before you dash off to get this kit for yourself, please look in the bottom right corner of the screen here. You'll see our Nitwit Collections logo. Click on that to be subscribed to our YouTube channel. It'll make you aware of anytime new videos are available, so you'll be sure not to miss anything. As well, give us a thumbs up on the video if you liked it, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you're going to create. What do you see in this? What is your vision? Or maybe what your favorite or main elements were going to be that you're going to create with. Thanks again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy creating with the Sweet Pea Collection.